stay in England when you came?
Well, when I first came to England in 1963, I planned was to stay for 5 years. I'll be going back home in 5 years, but it didn't happen because start having the children, you know, and working and everything. I didn't manage to go back in 5 years, you know. So here I am, 43 years later in England.
You still haven't been home yet?
No, I haven't been home. Because we're going to go back home for, you know, and I start
Shame on you.
Yes, well, you know.
I think when you haven't got a big family or that, you know, you just, that interest isn't there.
Yeah, I start having the children and things. It didn't really bother me, you know. I said, you know, we'll go home sometime, but we didn't really manage to go home. And we said, like, when we get the children off our hands, you know, we would go home, but didn't really manage it.
No.
Yeah, I wasn't really bothered about going, you know, and Lionel was keen, but I wasn't. So I didn't really.
What year did you come in?
I came in 1963.
Yeah.
I think we all were in the same boat there because I came for 5 years.
Yeah.
And it took me 15 years before I could touch down.
Yeah.
When I got there, I was in Jamaica and the suitcase was in New York. Can you imagine?
Yeah, I think most of us
The
came
first
here.
time.
Yeah, and I still haven't gone back, but I will go back. No,
Of course you will.
Of course, I'll go back now.
It'd be a strange country to you now if you go back.
Yeah, because you hear so
Very
many
strange.
stories of
Yeah.
things have changed,
Yeah.
you know, and
What sort of stories have you heard about how things have changed now?
well, I've heard about where I'm from in Westmoreland, you know, like new buildings have gone up and, you know, people I wouldn't, if I go back there to the West Indies, Westmoreland where I'm from, I wouldn't know a lot of people because they're all immigrated. It would be like stranger if I go back there now, you know. Only like my family, you know, because my family would still be there, but friends, children, you know, we grew up, we went to school together with. They're not there now, they're like in America, Canada, in England, you know, so it would be very strange if I go back there now, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not on your own there. Can I put?
And your family don't know you.
No.
Because you left when you were
Yes,
young.
young when I was 19, so I would look completely different to them. They would look old to me, and I don't know.
I think most of us that came here in the 60s, we had planned before we leave the islands what we were going to do in the 5 years. We thought we'd come here, earn good money, save it up, we'd go back home, we'd build a house, or like my dad that was a farmer, he would extend his farm, get some more cattle, probably have a little shop. Most people wanted a little shop of some sort. And that's how it used to be. That's, you know, what we planned for. But then it didn't work.
You were thinking the same way as me.
That's what I said. Most of us plan it from
I
home.
even plan to go back, return, and I start buying cows and sheep and pigs and whatever.
Yeah.
And never returns.
It
Yeah.
was going to be a
So
proper
somebody else got
farmer.
the benefit of all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it went. But then we became, and the wages was poor.
Oh, yes.
Because my wage when I started was £5.15 a week. And that was good wage.
That was good
compared
money.
to some.
Yeah.
But you still could manage to
When you
save up
think
a
of
lot.
it,
though.
yeah.
And
Oh,
out
yeah.
of that
That's a living
five,
alone.
yeah, out of that £5.15, you listen how it worked. First thing out of it was your rent, because you have to pay your
30
rent.
bob a week.
Yeah, and
I used to
and
pay
then
216.
you've got to save up for, you have to put your money away for your lunches and your bus fare to go back to work on Monday. You've got your groceries and all that to buy. Then you've got people back home in Jamaica that you've got to send some money home to. You know, a lot of people borrowed money to come
Here, so they
here.
have to pay back.
And we had a thing called partner. I don't know what they call it now, but we used to call it a partner. I suppose we call it a partnership, if that's the right word. And what we used to have is about 10 or 12 people, and they'd pay £10 or £5 a week
Yeah.
in a kitty. And every week, somebody gets a
a
draw.
All right.
The person that is the last to get their money gets the last
And
and
the
first.
first, so they are rich then.
So they have their family, their wife or child in Jamaica that they want to bring back. That's the money they use
Yeah.
to pay the fare to come up. Or if they had borrowed some money, they use that money to send back to repay the debt. That's how we could save up. We
That's
all
right.
borrowed off each other.
So you didn't save, you didn't have a bank account, you saved as you collectively?
Some people did have bank accounts,
But
you
they
know,
still have the partners.
but that was
It's
important.
still going now, you know, it's
Yeah.
still going now,
Is
that
it?
partner,
They
yeah.
still have their little bank account,
The only-
but it's the partner that was the thing. Everybody, every West Indian in this country was in a partner when they
Yeah.
just came here. It
Well-
was like me borrowing £10 off you, £10 off you.
That was when people was honest.
Yes, when people were honest.
We worked together. Yeah.
So do you think that was important for your sense of community? When
It was
you-
very important.
Yes.
But people were honest then, you know.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
here, people were honest. It's a different society all over the world. It changed, you see.
And-
Because over here,
and it was a
very
thing
honest
that-
people as well, you know.
Every weekend, all these people have to get together because you have to bring your money,
Your money
to
in,
the
yeah.
banker.
Yeah.
So the banker, like my dad was the banker, so I saw all these people because they have to come and drop their
the
money off,
partner, yeah. Yeah.
you know.
But they run up
And
to
some
the money
people
now.
even save up for deposit on a house.
Well, that's what
I
they do.
do.
Yeah, out of liquor,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
that's-
I don't know how. When
We
I
manage
look,
it,
when I look
mm.
back, at times I sit down and I think, how did we manage it?
Yeah.
Well, our first house that we bought, 3 bedrooms, 3 up, 3 down, 800 quid.
I've just bought my first house.
I am telling you, 800 quid. I couldn't even buy a kitchen.
Yes, that's what the average.
Ours was a
Terrace house.
two-bedroom bungalow and it was £2,000.
Good Lord.
And that was expensive then.
Well, my bungalow was 5,250, 1970.
And now they're going for about 179, aren't
Yeah,
they?
and that was hard, raising the deposit.
Yeah, and that was in
deposit,
1964. And when we moved in that house, we had to clean it ourselves. They just build the house and leave it. You
Yeah,
have
in
to
those
go and
days they
clean it,
did,
make
yeah.
the garden. It was hard work. It's a lucky thing I was young then. I couldn't go.
When you're young, you can do it.
Yeah.
So like,
We
But
save
I was
up
glad that
nothing,
we had
yeah.
it. Now we put a dorm on top.
Yeah, how did we
And
manage?
it's
And we were
really
having
nice.
children at the
Anybody
same
can come
time,
and two families and they can stay upstairs and there's a bathroom up there. So
I think that's
it's
what-
really lovely now.
what happened
Yeah.
with us,
But
why
it was
the
hard.
5-year thing went by the by,
Yes.
because we started having children.
Children,
That's right, yeah.
Because all of us that sit here started having our children in our
Children, yeah.
20s. And the children were like 2 years and so apart,
Yeah,
aren't they?
yeah.
So that stopped
put
our
things on
wage. It's only
hold,
one
yeah.
wage coming in now.
Yeah.
And then, if by then you'd buy this house, you had problem because you work till you're 7 months when you're pregnant,
Yeah.
and 6 weeks after you have the baby, you go back to work. You had to. You
Yeah,
have no
mine, I
choice.
put them in childminders when I
Gosh.
gone back to work.
I tell you, love, I put mine in
Nursery,
child minded,
yeah.
but when I look back on it now, I said to myself, if I was to live my life over again,
You
I
wouldn't
wouldn't
do
do
it.
it. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Because your children's
And we
life
worked
was in
so
danger.
hard, didn't we?